All sciences, inventions, Baba always said, will be used for Baba's children and Baba's seva. And Zoom is one of them. Yes. A very important one. It is Baba and Rama's gift during COVID time. But like some other gifts, Zoom also brought a challenge. I don't know how it's here. I'm just sharing from India. Post COVID, because it was almost more than a year or 2 years that everyone got used to listening to Murli on Zoom. And so, comfort zone created a new habit to listen to Murli on Zoom. And COVID got over, centers were functional. So COVID got over, centers were opened, but some of Baba's dear children got into the habit of listening to Murli on Zoom. And so post COVID also, he started preferring to listen on Zoom and didn't find the need to come to the center on a daily basis. So the gift remains the same. Zoom remains the same. But it all depends on when we use it and how we use it. When Zoom was being used during COVID times, soul power was increasing because sitting at home, we were connected, we were listening to Baba's Murli, we were doing online bhatti, everything was happening on Zoom. So at a time when the world was going through fear, we actually had our stage going higher because we were connected daily. But the same gift after COVID, when used only as a comfort zone, is becoming a tool for. So, first that gift was for this. Now that gifts become like this if it is being used as a comfort zone. So, it's not the gift, it is how we use the gift and when we use the gift. And that is wisdom. And that is wisdom. So, Sister shared that the topic today is navigating through challenges of life. How many of us have challenges in life? Baba won't like this. Baba will say, my children have challenges. Challenges. How often Baba has said in the Murli that you already know the answer, right? We already know the answer to the question paper. We are the only children on the planet who already know the questions of the exam paper. Do we know the questions of the exam paper? Yes, no. In India right now, you know what's going on. So everybody in the country is like fear, panic, what next? We already knew this question paper, right? So Baba has told us already two things. One, the question in the exam paper. And second, the answer to the question in the exam paper. Has he told us both the things or no? Yes. We know all the questions that are going to come, but we also know all the answers that have to be given to the question. So if someone knows the question and the answer, then where's the exam? Where's the exam? Exam is only if I don't know the questions. And exam is tough if I don't know the answers. Right? So one is exam because I don't know the question. And the day the exam, I don't know the answer. That day, it's a very, very tough exam. But what would Baba say to a child who knows the question also and the answer also? For them, the exam is no exam. So, no exam means no challenge. The scene only comes if we use the answer which we already know. The scene only comes for us to get closer to Baba. The scene only comes for us to experience the power of Baba's presence with us in every situation. The scene only comes for me to use the practical application of the daily Murli. If these scenes didn't come, we wouldn't know where and how to use the knowledge. We wouldn't experience Baba's help and guidance in every scene because there's no scene. So everything is going very comfortable. But when these situations come, one, we use the knowledge and so we say, oh, this works. And second, we experience Baba's presence with us. So we don't just have the question and the answer, we also have the teacher sitting with us to answer that question. So we can only call it a fun time with the teacher. We can't call it a exam. How many of us feel Baba's presence when there is a situation? Our whole life, if you say life, I'm just telling you last 2 days, every step I'm feeling it, every step. So you're actually laughing in every scene saying like, oh, go, one more, one more. What if there would have been no situation, tickets booked 5 months before, everything going perfect, taking your flight on time? No fun, no fun, because no situation and no feeling Baba's presence at every step because everything is going perfect. But here comes a situation 5 hours before you have to take a flight. So even you can't even call it a situation. It was one of those things. But even in that, at every step from that evening to this morning, I'm just seeing Baba, Baba, and Baba, and Baba. But had that scene not come, I would not experience that magic. So if we just reflect on life, and we will see it is all those scenes which have brought us closer to Baba. I haven't told anyone. The only ones who knew were Brother Ken, Erika, Juliana, Ricardo. Acha. No, that's okay. That was my exam. You don't need to know about the exam. No, I'm just saying, I just told them now. Yeah. So for everyone, they were not knowing that this was happening. Yeah. And here we were all. And the biggest exam for me was before on that day, everyone calling me to tell me you do not have to travel. And this everyone is Baba's family, huh? Outsiders don't come to give us any answers. They were like, you cannot travel at this time. You cannot travel at this time. I said, there are programs, but you cannot travel at this time. I said, what will happen? No, you cannot. Because in Abu Madhuban also, they've given an instruction. No one has to travel anywhere, whether in India, whether outside. So those who had any travel plans, it has been. So that was another interesting exam. Getting phone calls from Madhuban, from seniors, you cannot travel. And then finally, when I said, but I am going to go, they said, okay, you won't be able to come back. I said, why exactly will I not be able to come back? Because they said, by that time, which is another 15 days from today, by that time, international flights would have stopped. So enjoy your holiday. I said, okay, so be it. If it has to be an extended holiday, then it has to be So exams are not just flights and tickets. Exams are a lot of people who are involved, or the family who have such pure intentions for us. They have very pure intentions, very sweet for all of them to call. But sometimes the answers don't match. So at that time, we know what they are saying is right. We know what they are saying is possible. It can happen that way. But then we only have to surrender. And the faith that Baba is using us and he will keep us at the right time in the right place. Yes or no? How many of us feel Baba will use us at the right time in the right place? Yes. If we look at the army of the country, both the countries, in fact, they know that what they're doing daily, they might not come back the next morning. They know it. When they leave that night, they know they might not come back next morning. And yet they are out there. If they can do it without Baba, what do we have to fear? Do we have to fear anything? So we are very happy with your decision. No, no, there was no decision. There was no option for the decision. It was certain. And when we know it is Baba's Seva, Baba's program, it is He is responsible, not I. And everything in our life is Seva. It's not just an event which is Seva, service. Everything that we're doing is Seva, and He is responsible. And sometimes, even if we feel this shouldn't have happened today, this could have happened, but that scene also came for our benefit. And that's why every time there is a scene, the first thought we have to create is, again from the Murli, that this scene has come for my benefit. Can we create that as the first thought? Yes. Last Sunday's Murli, 3 points. Point, point, point. First point, what were the 3 points? Remember Sunday's Murli? 3 points. Points. First point, become the point. Second point, put a full stop to waste thoughts. And third point, use a point from the Murli. So become a point, put a full stop to waste thoughts, and use a point from the Murli. Which point to do first? Become a point, or put a full stop to waste thoughts, or use a point from the Murli. Every answer is correct, but we should have an answer. Which out of the three first? And it could be different for, we all would have our different ways to do it. For me, it is use a point from the Murli, which means make it your first thought. And that automatically puts a full stop to the other thoughts. And when those two things happen, then I can be point. Or the other way around, first become a point. That will automatically put a full stop to the waste thoughts. And then automatically we will use a point from the Murli. So these 3 points, which were in last Sunday's Murli, we need to play with it every day. The Murli is over. Next day, new Murli. Next day, new Murli. Then Sunday, new object Murli. And sometimes we've forgotten what was there in the last Murli. So from every Murli, we need to take out those points and keep them separately, which have to be our thought when there is a situation, which means it's not a point of gyan. It is a thought which I have to create when a situation comes. So, whenever there is a situation, we won't call it a challenge, we'll just call it a situation. The first point that Baba has given us is this is happening for your benefit. Right? Does this point come in the Murli? Every scene is happening for your benefit. So if I create that as my first thought, here comes a situation and here comes the first thought. We all create this thought, but after how much time do we create this thought? Do I create this thought after 5 days? After 5 hours? After 5 minutes? After 5 seconds? Or in the first thought? That is effort. That is effort. So now we've reached a stage where we would need to create it as the first thought. Here comes a crisis, and here comes my thought. This has happened for my benefit. Easy? We only have to create a thought. Whether it works or no, first just have to create a thought. Easy to create the thought. It's like teach a child when someone gives you a gift, say thank you. So, 4 5 times we have to play that with the child. You got a gift, say thank you. You got a gift, say thank you. Sometimes we take the gift back from the child and say thank you, and we give the gift. Now, Baba has said, you got a situation, say it's come for your benefit. Just say it mechanically, even if I don't feel it, even if I don't believe it, even if I don't think there is any benefit. Just say it. Why? Because by saying it, I am obeying the teacher. And I have the faith that whatever the teacher says, it's absolutely right. Baba has not come here to solve our outer world problems. Baba has come here to energize the soul. So when comes a situation and I say this has come for my benefit, so what's going to be the benefit? The benefit will be no waste thoughts. And when there are no waste thoughts, then soul power in that situation only went. And that is the purpose of this life. We know the world is not going to become perfect. We know all this that is happening is going to happen. But what is the purpose of our life? To sail through all this, and while sailing through all this, keeping the soul battery charging. But if here comes a situation and next day situation is resolved, but in that process I created a few waste thoughts, then what happened to the soul battery? What happens to the soul battery? Here. And if I do that once, then I do that again the next time, and then I do that again. And so situations may get resolved, situations may not get resolved. But one thing that is not happening is I, the soul, am not getting energized. So when Baba says, create a thought, this is for my benefit, I have not just used a point of Gyan, I have invoked Baba into my life because I used his Gyan. But if I keep saying Baba, Baba, but I'm not using the Gyan, and that is why Baba said a few days back in the Murli, Baba is not a word. Word means we keep saying Baba, Baba, and we create waste thoughts also with that. So Baba is not a word. Baba is knowledge. The first thing that Baba gave us was knowledge. Everything else comes after that. Powers, qualities, everything is later on. First thing is knowledge. So when we say Baba, because before Gyan also we said God, oh my God, God help me, God be there. But along with saying God, we were also creating waste thoughts. And that is the reason we could not always experience God's power and presence in our life because we were creating clutter there. So Baba means knowledge, and knowledge means way of thinking. So if we just take this one line, this has happened for my benefit, and say it in my first thought, then in my first thought, I have gone above the situation. Here it comes, and I said, oh, you've come for my benefit. The situation will say, like, they didn't get scared of me. They are saying, you've come for my benefit. So I overpower the situation when I say that you've come for my benefit. But when I create the first thought as, how can this happen? Now what will happen? Situation overpowers me. All this is going to happen in the first thought. Who wins over who? And so Baba said in Sunday Murli, use that point of knowledge as your first thought. And so we need to create these separately, the points of knowledge which are going to be used in my day to day living. So whenever a situation comes, this has come for my benefit. Can we just say it, just even for the sake of saying it, can we say it? Yes, can we say it? Yes, easy, easy. And then my mind will say, but no, say this has come for my benefit. In India, there is something known as mantra. Mantra means take one high vibration word and go on repeating it. And they can repeat it for hours. Just one high vibration word. Let's say Om Shanti. So they will say Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, without a pause, without a comma, without a full stop. So what that does is that does not allow any other thought to come in between. So just saying it once that this has come for my benefit, if the mind does not agree with it, then just keep saying it without a comma and a full stop. There are two paths that the mind is going to travel. This has come for my benefit, or this has come as a problem in my life. It's two paths. Either this road or this road. So sometimes just by saying it once, the mind will not go on this road. It may then gently turn and go. And even if it doesn't go, somebody else will come and say, oh, problem. And I will say, like, huh, problem. And then again, the mind will go here. So if it's not happening by saying it once, I need to keep saying it. And if it doesn't happen just by saying it, I need to write it. Take your diary and write 100 times, this has come for my benefit. Just write, write, write. This has come for my benefit. And when I'm doing that, now my mind has dropped the idea of going on this road, and I have forcefully changed it to go on this path. And now that will radiate my highest vibration to the situation. That will keep the soul power energized. That will keep the body healthy. That will keep my relationships comfortable. And obviously, I'm in my best version to handle that situation. 99.999% situation gets resolved. 0.001% of the situation doesn't get resolved. But my benefit is I've gone higher. And that's the purpose of this life, to go higher. So let's take only two thoughts today. One, if a situation comes, this has come for my benefit. And second, if a person is not my way. Every single Sunday Murli for the last 6 months or more, this is coming repeatedly. They may be rude to you, they may abuse you, they may insult you. What do you have to do? What is coming in bless in Murli every single Sunday it is there. This way or that way, it is there every single Sunday for the last few months. Yes. Yes. Why? Because situations only means different people, different sanskars. And if I have to raise there in my vibration, I'll never be able to do it if I keep creating waste thoughts, looking at other people's behaviors, their nature. So, first thought, First thought. About 4 5 months back, Baba had said one simple thought. Okay, if you forget how to create blessings or you don't know what blessing to create for them, just say they are very nice. That's easy. Easy. They are very nice. And then it was a 3 step formula in that Murli. Just keep saying they are very nice, they are very nice, they are very nice. Second step, Baba said, you will become very nice. And when your very nice vibrations reach them, third step, they will become very nice. Simple, simple. Can we create this as the first thought? They're very nice. Because sometimes we don't know what blessing to create. So Baba says, okay, don't even think, just repeat. They're very nice. Can we do that? Easy. How easy? Very easy. Say it without feeling. Sometimes we say, but I'm not feeling it. But doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Say it without feeling. Say it without believing. Just say it. And the feeling will start happening after that. We can't wait for the feeling to get created first. First, the thought has to get created, then the feeling will get generated. And when the feeling gets generated, I will start believing it. It's not the other way around. First, believe it, then feel it, then create the thought. Create the thought, feel it, and then you automatically will start believing it. So it's all the creation in one thought. And once we have the right answer for every situation and for every person, there's nothing else left to handle. There's nothing left to do. So, can we do these two as homework? Yes, homework for this 1 week. Let's experiment with it. Huh. So it's like, even a kindergarten child will learn how to do this. Situation comes, say it is for my benefit. Person does something, say they're very nice. How simple. Such short lines. And now, what we will do this week, just to see how it works, is the experiment will be to do it in the first thought. We all use these points, but this week we'll do it in the first thought. Ready? This 1 week experiment? And then keep writing, see how you feel. It's going to put a full stop to so many waste thoughts, because when there is clutter of those waste thoughts, then becoming the point doesn't happen, and connecting to Baba also doesn't happen. I'm sitting in Baba's remembrance, but my mind is going towards all those waste thoughts, towards all those waste thoughts. And so that's why let's take that 3 points and keep using it, and gently also change vocabulary. Start using high vibration words rather than the worldly words, because every word either takes the soul power up or brings the soul power here. So instead of calling it a challenge, we'll say gift from Baba to come closer to him. Just saying that changes my energy. So every word was also a thought. And so choosing that right word. So we will shift from our vocabulary to Baba's Gyan vocabulary. And then very soon, Murli will become our way of thinking, not a 1 hour class. Murli should be the vocabulary of our thoughts. Like some of us say, I think in English or you think in Portuguese. We think in Murli language. So if somebody asks you, which language do you think in? Say Murli. Murli. So Murli means high vibration vocabulary. Because now we know the next 10 years, situation's not going to stop. They started with COVID. Situation's not going to stop. It's only going to increase. It's going at a very, very, very fast pace. And also because everything is ready. Look at all our dadis have flown for the next work to be done. The Adi Ratan Moiniji was last Adi Ratan, which means last of that 300 group from Pakistan. The last. So it's a very significant time change that is happening. So, nothing to be surprised by what's happening in the world or in our life. Only ready with the answers and enjoy the company of the teacher. That in spite of knowing the answer, the teacher also sits with me in the exam. What a fortune. So, giving the exam only is a beautiful experience. So, let's take a minute of silence. Think of what is your current situation and gently just change the vocabulary for that situation first. We won't call it a problem. We won't call it a crisis. We can call it a gift. We can call it a perfect scene of drama. The vocabulary is very important because that word also either energizes me or depletes me. So let's just shift our vocabulary about that scene of life and then give it the tagline. This has come for my benefit. There is my benefit in this scene. Everything that happens in my life, every single thing that happens is for my benefit. This needs to be our normal way of thinking. Everything that happens in my life is for my benefit. What does Baba say about Sangam Yuga, confluence age? What age is it? What is age? What age is confluence age? Benevolent. So when the age is only benevolent, how can there be any scene which is not? And in the entire cycle, this is the only time which is called the benevolent age. So every scene is perfect. It's accurate. It's for my benefit. It's for energizing me. If scenes didn't come, we would be where we are. Even in terms of spiritual life, we would just be where we are. But now is the time to go like this. And these scenes are a gift to go up there. So if we treat it as a gift, it becomes our gift. If we call it a crisis, it becomes a crisis. We only need to take care what's the label we put to the scene when the scene comes. The label is very important. So we can start saying, nothing but perfect happens with me. Let the world say that what's happening in my life is not right. Say nothing but the perfect happens with me. Nothing apart from that. And that one thing that will always be perfect is my stage. And when that is perfect, you will find everything looks perfect. Nothing can be a challenge then. So we don't want to learn how to face challenges. We don't have any challenge. We don't have a challenge. And we can create a few specific thoughts for this scene of life that we want to cross and just repeat them every single day. Every single day. And especially with our food and water. With our food and water. Because if I create a waste thought while eating, or while having a cup of tea or coffee, or while having a glass of water, Then that food and water will absorb that waste thought, and then the number of waste thoughts are only going to increase. So consciously add the right thoughts. Never eat or drink without saying 5 seconds of those thoughts first. And first, most important thought we need to create with our food and water is, I am a golden age soul, because we are having iron age water. We are having iron age food, even though we've cooked it as bhog. But where is the vegetable coming from? Where is the grocery coming from? It's coming from the iron aged world. So, one thought we need to put into our every meal, every fruit we eat, every glass of water, I am a golden aged soul. So that we change that vibration. Because living in iron age, to reach that stage, I will have to change the vibration of my food and water. Because the more there will be scenes on the planet, the more the food and the water is going to get. COVID, what happened? COVID, what happened? The air absorbed vibrations of fear. The water absorbed vibrations of fear. And if you see post COVID, COVID settled, but fear has become a predominant emotion on the planet. Because everybody was drinking that water of fear, breathing that air of fear. So it's very, very important to take care before we eat or drink. Change that vibration. So even if you say your specific thoughts to your food and water when we sit in Baba's remembrance, even then all the waste thoughts for that situation stop. And only the right one starts getting created. Food and water is nothing but magic. Nothing but magic. It can either take you this side or it can take you that side. It's that powerful. It's that powerful. So we have to be very careful, use that as a power. But if we become careless and we just pick up a glass of water and drink like this, now this is iron age vibration in this glass of water. So that means the vibrations of the city. So in India, there is a line which says, which city water do you drink? It's a it's a slogan, which means I can make out who you are just by knowing which city water you can drink. Because the vibrations of the people of that city will be in the water. And so anybody who comes from another city and lives in that city for 4 or 5 years, the person changes. And people say, it's been 5 years, he's been drinking water of Delhi, so had to change. So that's the power of water and food. It can change a person completely. So that's why Dadi Gulzar used to always say, every time she came to ORC, whatever may be the topic, this one point she would always say, before you drink water. She didn't say about food because she knows we always do it with food. But she said, before you drink water, you have to remember Baba. So we thought she's saying it because 7, 8 times in a day we have water. So it's a way of remembering Baba. But that was not the thing. It's the water. So create 4 or 5 thoughts which we have to use as an ingredient before having that glass of water. So that even if we wake up in the middle of the night, we won't drink water like this. Never, ever. Even in deep sleep, get up 3 thoughts. I am a golden aged soul. I'm pure and perfect. Now have it. Even a simple thing like that changes our way of thinking. So we have to have these little tools to protect ourselves during this transformation period, which is now reaching its peak. So if we take care, we'll be going like this. If we don't, then this will influence us and we will go like this. So let's do this homework for 1 week. Thank you so much. Om Shanti. We have some information and then there is totally blessing in a little gift for everyone. Um,